Chapter 25, Back to Bat Deng, April 1979. While staying at the displaced people's camp, Mang, Khoi, and Kim leave to go fishing every morning. My job is to search for wild vegetables and mushrooms in the nearby woods, while Ju guards our tents. Usually, we eat half of what the boys bring back each day. The rest we salt, grill, or dry to save. These days, we go to bed on a full stomach every night. We have fish, wild vegetables, and the rice Mang and Khoi stole from the Khmer Rouge. We are the lucky ones. Most of the old and very young lie sick on the outskirts of the site where the displaced people gather or die in the camp from disease and hunger. At the end of April, Khoi, Mang, and Mang decide we are ready to leave Pursat City. They believe that we have gathered enough supplies to last the long trip to Bat Deng. Abandoning our tents, we pack our few pots, pans, clothes, and all of our food. We leave with two of Khoi's and Mang's women friends, but the third stays behind and search for any surviving family members. Khoi and Mang each carry a 15-pound bag of rice on their shoulders, and the rest of us help with bundles of clothes, blankets, and other food. Balancing the rice pot on my head, I turn around and look one last time at Pursat City. My eyes linger on the mountains, thinking of Pa, Ma, Kev, and Gek. The mountain peaks majestically just into the sky as large clouds cast dark shadows on them. It all looks so calm and normal, as if the hell we have lived through for the past 4 years has never happened. 4 years ago, on April 17, 1975, the Khmer Rouge took over Phnom Penh, a course that eventually brought us here to Pursat. Up there somewhere in the mountains, Pa, Ma, Kev, and Gek are still trapped and able to go home with us. Pa, Ma, Kev, and Gek, I call out to them, I am taking you all home now. I will not say goodbye. I will never say goodbye. Day after day, we walk onward, stopping only to rest at night. In the dry April sun, our black clothes absorb the rays and the heat weighs heavy on our skin. Our bones grow tired, our backs ache, our feet blister, yet still we march. Almost exactly 4 years ago, we evacuated Phnom Penh. I remember how I cried and whined about the hot sun and how the touch of Pa's hand on my head soothed me. I was not used to the heat, the sun, the hard ground then because Pa provided us with a sheltered middle-class life. Now my body is accustomed to the extreme environment and weather, but my heart has never come to terms with the absence of those we have lost. Now we are leaving them behind. I hope wherever they are, their spirit will follow us back to Bat Deng. One night, we find shelter in an abandoned hut. We are in the middle of nowhere and are highly vulnerable to a Khmer Rouge attack. The makeshift refuge must house the 7 of us and one other family who arrived there before us. The other family consists of a mother, father, and a baby. He is sick. His face and feet are swollen, as are hers and their babies. When I see the mother of the other family, I think she is Ma. The woman could be a double for Ma. I want to run to her, talk to her, hold her, but then I see her husband lying next to her. He is about Pa's age, but the resemblance ends there. I know then she isn't Ma because she would never be with anyone else other than Pa. I don't dare ask my siblings whether they see the resemblance too. Watching their eyes, I notice they do linger on the side of the mother the way I do. Do my brothers and Ju see the resemblance too? While the family stays on the ground level of the hut, our group moves up to the top floor. Before they fall asleep that night, my brothers practice jumping out of the second floor to plan their escape route in case of a Khmer Rouge attack. They leap off in different directions and clear the area of anything that might hurt us when they land. Next, they test the stability of the stairs under pressure and rehearse running up and down them. Ju and I sit and worry about what will happen to us because we don't think we can jump without breaking our legs. Now that we are together again, I fear something will happen to break us up again. I'm afraid that if there is an attack, I will be left behind. If all of us cannot live, then at least hopefully some will. I know Pa would have wanted it that way. Still, the thought fills me with anxiety. After I am sure my brothers are asleep, I take off my scarf and go to sleep on the ground at the bottom of the stairs. Before we leave the next morning, and when my brothers and sisters aren't looking, I grab some of our cooked rice and wrap it in banana leaves. Downstairs, the woman is awake and breastfeeding her baby. I do not have enough courage to talk to her or look at her. Instead, I place the rice near her and leave before she can say anything. Looking back longingly at the hut, I wonder what will happen to them. It does not look like they will be able to leave today with a sick husband and baby. They will probably spend another night alone. Day after day, we push on until I lose count of how many days we have traveled. Every day we walk, only stopping at night to rest. All along the way, I travel with Pa, Ma, Kev, and Gek in my thoughts. In my mind, I talk to them. I complain to Pa about my blistering feet and aching joints. I describe to Ma all the pretty flowers I see on the roadside. I report to Kev the flirting that goes on between Khoi, Ming, and their women friends. And Gek, I have the hardest time finding words to say to her. To Gek, I keep silent. We're very close to Bat Deng, Meng says, breaking into my thoughts. If our aunts and uncles are alive, we will be with them soon. We have been on the road for 18 days now, and our food ration is getting smaller with each passing day. As we walk the last few hours back to Bat Deng, Meng and Koi ask many people on bicycles or wagons if they share our destination. When they say yes, my brothers plead with them to bring word to our uncles that we have arrived. Within an hour, we see a familiar figure on a bicycle riding toward us. It's Uncle Liang. Uncle Liang still resembles the stick figure I drew in Phnom Penh, only his back curves more now. My brothers rush up to him, and soon they are hugging each other and crying. Uncle Liang reaches into his bag and pulls out some sweet rice cakes. My eyes widen and my mouth waters at the sight of the roasted sesame seeds sprinkled over sweet rice. Here's one for you, Ju, and one for Kim. Shyly, I step toward him, extend my hand. Sorry, little girl. I only have enough for my family, and I have none extra for you. My face burns with shame and embarrassment. My own uncle does not recognize me. He thinks I'm a street girl begging for food. Uncle, Meng says laughingly, it's long. Oh, here's one for you then. Surprised, Uncle Liang smiles. Kim, Ju, and I sit pressed against one another on the back of the bike, holding on to Uncle Liang. We are returning to Ma's childhood home without her. At Bat Deng, everyone is happy to see us. Uncle Liang and his family still live in the same hut they did when we stayed with them. The first thing Uncle Liang's wife, Aunt Kang, does is to take off her dirty clothes and give us new clothes. She puts me in a shirt and pants the color of a blue sky. The clothes shimmer as they touch my skin softly, making me feel nice and light. Transformed. In the back of the hut, I watch Aunt Kiang throw our dirty clothes into an aluminum bowl and soak them with water. She then sprinkles a handful of white powdered detergent in the water and begins to scrub my clothes. I watch in fascination as the clear water becomes gray and then black as the detergent does its work. When Koi and Meng arrive on foot 2 hours later, they tell our story, and Aunt Kiang cries when she hears what happened to us. They want the two of them to tell them over and over again about all that has happened. At Kang Trop, Uncle Liang's family is considered to be a base family because they have lived in the same village since the pre-revolutionary days. As my family talks about the war, I pretend to have no memory of it. They do not ask me about my experiences. In our culture, it is enough that the oldest child relates the family story. Children are not asked for opinions, feelings, or what they individually endure. I do not volunteer information about my indoctrination as a soldier, escape from being raped, or how I lost 3 days of my life when I found out about Ma. For a long time, I needed to hold on to the memories because they made me angry. My rage made me strong and resilient. Now, however, enclosing the memories in my heart and mind is unendurable. Often I walk away from their chatter, but sometimes I just sit quietly and listen. Through their conversations, I learned that Bat Deng, my uncle's village in the Kampong Sbo province, was liberated by the Yuan weeks before Pursat province. Furthermore, the Khmer Rouge cadres were different in every province. In the eastern provinces, the Khmer Rouge cadres were more moderate and humane. The work hours were generally shorter, the food rations were larger, and the soldiers did not kill the villagers indiscriminately. In Bat Deng, Uncle Liang's and Uncle Liang's family were allowed to live together. Though many new people who resettled in their village were taken away and never heard from again, my family's status as base people protected them from the killings. In the Pursat province where we lived, the cadres were among the most brutally insane, and your mother, Uncle Liang says, shaking his head, 2 more months, just 2 more months, and she would have made it. Hearing this, I get up quickly and leave them. I walk to the new town market that has sprung up since the Yuans came. There is no monetary system in place, so rice is used as currency. To go shopping, people bring a bag of rice with them and use it to barter for the items they want. I have no rice with which to buy anything, but I still weave my way around, remembering Phnom Penh. Unlike in Phnom Penh, this market is a gathering in a field. There are no tents selling 8-track tape players, imported vinyl pants, or hair coloring cream, nor are there elaborate stalls glistening with dangling gold or silver necklaces and bracelets. Here in Bat Deng's market, long homemade wooden tables display dried fish, slabs of pork, yellow naked chickens, green beans, white corn, red tomatoes, orange mangoes, ripe guava, papayas, and some pre-cooked food. Those with the most currency can cross from the food section to the book section, where old Khmer, Chinese, French, or English dictionaries and novels can be bought with several kilograms of rice. The market here thrives because most people did not have to leave their homes and are therefore already settled. Our family is poor and survives by farming a small plot of land. With a heavy heart, I walk through the market, taking in the smell of all the delicious food. My feet stop at a stall that sells pork dumplings. Pork dumplings will always remind me of Ma. It was her favorite food. 2 more months and she would have made it, my mind screams. Why couldn't she hold on for 2 more months? Did Ma do something stupid and get caught? Did she complain about her work? Did Get cry for Pa too loudly and too often? They must have let their weakness show. What did they do? My eyes burn into the dumplings. Anger rises up in me because I resent and blame my mother for not holding on for 2 more months. 8 weeks, 60 days, 1,400 hours more, and she would have made it. A few weeks later, my uncle arranges a marriage for Mang. His bride's name is Yang, and she is in her early 20s. Yang was in school during the evacuation of Phnom Penh and was separated from her family. She does not know where they are, even if they are alive. Aunt Yang says she not only is Yang Chinese, but she is very clever and smart as well, and truly believes she is the right wife for Meng. Aunt Yang tells Meng he is the head of our family now and needs a wife to help look after us while he works. A week after they meet, they are married. There is no big celebration, only a small ceremony. It all happens in one day, then it is over and life resumes as before. Each morning, Meng, Kim, and the Mel cousins work with Uncle Liang on the small farm in the back of their hut. They grow potatoes, onions, leeks, beans, and tomatoes. But the land is dry, having been neglected during the Khmer Rouge rule, and produces hardly any fruit. Koi occasionally works as a laborer, helping people carry and load heavy bags of cloth, fruit, and rice from their wagons to the new market for a small fee. Yang and the female cousins stay at home and make crepes, sweet cakes, and cookies from corn and wheat, which we exchange for rice. Ju, the younger cousins, and I sell what they make in the market. We have no stall, no chairs, no cart, and no tables. Balancing our wicker baskets on our hips, we walk barefoot around the new market in our blue outfits, yelling out our goods of the day. We sell mostly to other vendors, collecting 12 ounces of rice for 5 sweet cakes or 10 cookies. When I see a well-dressed woman entering the market, I rush to her. Smiling widely, I lift my basket to my chest, hoping to catch her eye. I stare at the red ruby earrings straight from her ears, and for a moment the wind is knocked out of me. Ma, my mind whispers, and I walk nearer to her. The woman raises her hand and waves me out of her way. Ignoring me, she passes by. My eyelashes moisten. My smile fades. For 3 months, we live our lives this way in Bat Deng. Then one day, a lady comes into town looking for Yang. She is Chinese and in her 30s. She says she has come from Vietnam to search for Yang. When Yang sees the woman, her face wrinkles up and bursts into tears. It is one of her sisters. They rush into each other's arms and hug for a long time. They stand there crying and saying very little to each other. Mother and father are alive and well in Vietnam, she tells Yang, as is your older sister. Our brother is missing and believed to be dead. During the evacuation, we went over into Vietnam and have been living there ever since. We thought you were dead. The next day, Yang and Meng leave for Vietnam. The economy in Cambodia is bad, and Meng thinks there will be work in Vietnam. With or without Yang, he says he will return in a few days. The days pass slowly as we wait for Meng's return. Our family continues to live as before, with the men working on the farm and the girls selling food in the market. At night, Ju and I sit outside the hut looking at the road until the sky darkens and our aunt orders us to go to sleep. Each day that Meng is gone, my anxiety grows, and I wonder if he will ever come back. Sensing my fear, Kim tells me the route Meng took to Vietnam is very safe and does not cross any Khmer Rouge zone. Still, I worry. But true to his word, he returns alone 4 days later. Sitting inside the hut with the family, Meng talks excitedly about Vietnam, Saigon, and Yang's family. Most of all, he talks about leaving Cambodia and going to America. Meng tells our uncles that many Cambodians are leaving the country for Thailand in search of a new life and to escape the war. Furthermore, they fear the Khmer Rouge might come to power again and kill more people until no one is left. Many Cambodians are trekking on foot to north, crossing dangerous minefields and Khmer Rouge control zones with little food and water to go to Thailand. Many people step on landmines and die on the way or are captured by the Khmer Rouge. He says the safer way is to go to Thailand is via Vietnam. In Vietnam, Meng explains, the human smuggling operation, or leaving the country without papers, is illegal. If we are caught being part of the operation as either an abettor or a refugee, the Vietnamese government could take our gold and throw us in jail for 5 years. It will be very costly, he informs us. We cannot all afford to go. It costs 10 ounces of gold to buy a seat on a small boat that will take us from Vietnam to the Thai refugee camp. He says Ying's family knows the person running this human export operation. With money from the rest of the family and after selling Ma's remaining jewelry, we only have enough money for 2 to go. Uncle Liang puts his hand on Meng's shoulder. Your pa is gone, Meng, so you are now the head of your family. Your life is not your own anymore. You have a family to take care of, he says quietly. Uncle, I am doing this for the family. I will take Long with me. She is still young enough to go to school, get an education, and make something of herself. Though the younger children studied French in Phnom Penh, Pa made Meng and Koi study English. As a result, Meng is already fluent in English. Once in America, Meng's plan is to work hard and send money to the family. He will save and build a home, and in 5 years, send for the rest of the family. Uncle Liang still has his doubts, but it is decided that Meng and I will leave at the end of the week. At the rooster's cry, our family gathers outside the hut to say goodbye to us. While Meng says farewell to our relatives, I stand with Ju, holding on to her hands. One by one, our aunts and cousins come up to me, touch my hair, my arms, and my back. Meng ties our bags onto the back seat of his bicycle and lifts me up onto it. I straddle our bags, finally as tall as the adults, and look down at Ju. She stares up at me and cries, her lips quivering and her face crumpled. Our hands reach for one another, and we hold on a few seconds more. I do not know how to say goodbye, so I say nothing. No matter what, I am determined not to cry. Ju has this luxury. Everyone expects her to. I am strong, so I cannot cry. I will never understand how Ju ever survived the war. Meng gets on his bike and slowly begins to pedal, breaking Ju's hold on my hand. They are all in tears now as they wave goodbye to us. I do not turn around. I know they will not leave until we are out of their sight. I grit my teeth and fight back the tears. 5 years, I think, as we ride away. In 5 years, I will see them again.